I feel like if anything today, we want to come out there and obviously not disrespect them first off, but come out there and compete against them as they are any other team, and really just try to build good habits. I feel like that's what Coach has been preaching to us the time he's been here, is to try to build good habits, and I think we need to focus on that tonight.
For sure. I think we've asked you this before. How do you guys not overlook opponents? I mean, when you look at your record, some of your losses have come to some of the worst teams this season. Just what goes into that?
No, yeah, I honestly feel like we can use that as a big learning tool, right, for us to, again, not disrespect those teams, right, regardless of what their record says. Just have NBA players on their roster, coaching staff dedicated to scouting, right, and home arena fans, all that, etc. So we got to really just lock in and take care of business and get wins where we need them, where we should, and I feel like that'll help us mentally.
Obviously, Sadiq came to Atlanta from Detroit.
Yeah.
He was on the team tonight for the first time. What do you, I guess, what type of advice have you given him? What do you see? What do you expect from this team?
No, yeah, I try to talk to Sadiq as much as I can. We actually sit next to each other on the plane now, so we have a little bit of combos. Really just trying to tell him to keep his mental right. I feel like Sadiq respects the game, works on his body, works on his craft, and has a total understanding of what it means to be a pro. So I'm just trying to tell him to stay solid mentally and know that his time is coming. But I know he's going to have a lot of emotions coming into tonight. Maybe want to prove himself. But again, it's all about just staying calm and playing this game and not really trying to give himself too much to think about.
John, you touched on it just a second ago, but how do you sort of get over that funk of like winning one, losing one? Great teams have done it before. Like when the Braves won the World Series, they had a stretch where they were doing stuff like that for a long time. How does a basketball team like you guys sort of get over that hump and reel off some wins?
We really just have to lock in on the defensive end. I feel like for us, trying to get stops, I feel like we can score on or with anybody in the league, but where I feel like the next step for us is just trying to lock in defensively, whether it be talking, having each other's backs, being there on rotations, doing the small things that don't require massive athleticism or talent to do. Effort is where we need to start at on the defensive end. And I feel like it'll just bleed into all the other aspects of the game and help us.
And is that something that is that something that maybe fans look too much into when they see wins, losses? Like, is it something that the team maybe talks about? Like, man, it's sort of frustrating that we're winning two, then losing two, or winning one, losing one, that type of thing.
No, it's always frustrating because you want to build a streak, right? And obviously you don't want to lose consecutive games in a row. Goals to win in this league, which is extremely hard, but for us, it's just about doing and learning from what we didn't do last game and trying to play our game. We know, I said it before, we're ultra talented and we feel like we're confident enough to do anything offensively, but to give ourselves that solidification. Which needs to start defensively, need to play together for full 48. Small stuff, you know what I mean? It's not the big stuff, the talent or the athleticism or the youth. For us, we have that. So
Going back to Sadiq really, really fast, you guys would match up against each other when Atlanta would play Detroit quite a bit, and I'm curious what you've learned about him since he's been here and he's now your teammate.
I guess if I've learned anything, the way he plays sort of just solidifies who he is as a person, right? He's solid, he's strong, you know what I mean, and he understands himself. He's not going to try to do too much, but he's going to do what he does at a very high level, and that's sort of the same thing that I got here when I play against him, right? Or even still we match up in practice, right? So just a matter of knowing that a lot of times how people play is just a representation of who they are as a person sometimes, and I feel like that's really it for Sadiq.
John, I wanted to ask you about your finger. Have you been trying to adjust with shooting? Because I see you sometimes have something on it, sometimes you don't. Has it been kind of an adjustment for you?
A little bit. I think it's more of a mental thing for me. Obviously, I wish finger would be perfect. Sometimes you can't, have everything you want at a certain given time, but I definitely feel like, we've been working on it. No pain in there, but just something that I have to deal with as a hooper. You know what I mean? The stress that it brings on your body. So, not something I've been trying to overthink, but something that definitely is there. But trying to still do what I do.
Is it just kind of like a cosmetic thing with how it looks, or is there any plan to maybe get surgery on it?
I'm not sure of what I should do, but definitely, obviously, it's a little little big.
Yeah.
But I mean, be that as it may, I've seen guys play with no fingers, or guys play with amputated, whatever, this and that. So for me, it's just like I said, I think it's more of a mental thing that I can just try to figure out. No, sure.
Have you talked to other NBA players who have done that? Like with all the slap downs in the leagues, like when Nate was coach, you could see like he'd been through some of that, and I think Chris Paul famously has fingers that are kind of mangled just from the wear and tear of the game. Like, have you talked to other players about it?
No, not to say I don't need to, but I just feel like it's just part of the game. You know what I mean? I'm a person that gives my whole mind, body, and soul to the game, and that's a risk that you take when you play this game is injuries on your body and long-term effects, whether it be my finger, my back, my knees. You always see older NBA guys walking around like they're hurt because they are. You know what I mean? And the NBA takes a big toll on your body, so I just sort of understood that these are the things that come with playing at the highest level of basketball you can.
We're a few weeks into having Quinn Snyder here. Now that you've gone through the grind a little bit with him, what's the experience been like?
It's been good. Super passionate. I feel like he obviously has a lot of basketball knowledge, and very excited to coach this team and to try to take on this challenge. So I always like that from a coach, like a coach who's excited, he's passionate, and that wants to see us succeed. So a lot of good from Quinn. I know he has a lot on his plate right now, but I'm liking what I'm seeing.
John, James Wiseman is coming off probably his best game since joining the Pistons. I know you and Capello kind of tag team that matchup, but what do you just expect from a guy like that with his skill set?
No, he's one of the talented young bigs in this league. Obviously, you can tell he wants to prove himself. So he's going to come out with a lot of effort and energy. But big athletic guy, good hands, motor. So, just always have to respect a guy like that and not disrespect him, get him motivated, and really just come out and play solid. Obviously, good player in his respect, but we're going to do what we can. But definitely a young talent to watch out for the future, for sure. I like Wiseman.